Well, hello, everybody. We're letting you know it's time to rock and roll, Thank you so much for joining me. This is Ms. B, Positively Ms. B, coming to you on another Tuesday with my special guest CEO, Angela B. Brown from Yeshua's house right there in Petersburg. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I love looking forward to this. Anticipation grows every month. Okay.
Oh, let me tell you, we've been together for a year and it went by so fast I didn't even know it. I apologize for not acknowledging it, but you know what? You're my buddy, my pal, my friend, my inspirational counselor. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me for a whole year. My goodness.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, for those of you who are first time joining me, you can find me at www.stormtalk365radio.com. And right here on our fan page is Storm Radio 24/7 on Facebook and many other social media outlets. But right now, Angela B. Brown is joining me with her special topic. I'm going to let her tell about it. But before we get into the topic, Angela, I personally, I'm going to be honest with you, had no clue what Giving Tuesday was, is, and whatever. So before we move into your topic, if you would explain to the listeners and the viewers, what is Giving Tuesday and how are you participating in it? And also, I think you have a raffle that you're doing.
Yes. Well, Giving Tuesday is 24 hours. Well, maybe not quite. It started at 8 this morning. And when you give to nonprofits who have come under the Giving Tuesday umbrella, your donation is doubled. It's doubled through Facebook and Network for Good operating through Facebook. Okay. So it's just a once a year opportunity for nonprofits to double whatever donors want to give them. So this is our first year doing it. We're really excited about it. I want to thank Latika Lee, our board member, who said, we can do this. I thought it was going to be real complicated, but it's not. And so I just thank God in ahead of time that he's going to move on this Tuesday. And then we'll be following up. Oh, let me tell you then, our Giving Tuesday fund is for our, the new roof that we need on our second Yeshua's house. It's a beautiful home built in 1910. We just put new windows in thanks to our donors. And it's sturdy. It's gorgeous. Can't say enough about it. So with this new roof, then we're really going to complete the weatherization of Yeshua's house so that we get the very, very most out of our electric and gas bills. Okay.
You know, before you move on and tell us about the raffle, let me just say this, everybody. If you or someone you know or someone you can recommend that not necessarily in the Petersburg area, but who has a giving spirit, who would like to donate time, services, materials to get the roofing done, please reach out to Angela Brown. I put her contact information in the description of this video, but even if it's not monetary, like I said, in-kind labor, donation of materials, gift cards at a Home Depot or Lowe's to secure the materials. There's a lot of things that you can do. And if you do it through Facebook, she's alerted you that your donations will be doubled. So a $25 gift would be a $50 gift. And that goes a long way towards securing materials and labor to get a roof done, along with other things. As she mentioned, she also has 2 locations. So donations are very important, but don't be limited to just the monetary. Labor is appreciative. The materials are appreciative. Some people have had roofs put on and they don't need all the material that they have, and it's just covered up and, sitting there, and you just
Wow,
never
that's
know.
true.
It may be enough. It may be enough. If you have something that you've gotten that's, I'm sorry, hey, it's outdated. That was last year's model. And you got 5 or 6 stacks of roofing materials sitting in the yard, donate it. So that being said, we also have a raffle going on, don't we, Angela?
We do. We do. And we're excited about this too. It's a beautiful smoked glass and chrome table that has a hidden leaf inside. So easy to just turn over and move from seating 6 to seating 10. And that was a gift from Mary Foley, a business coach whom we love and who you may have seen on podcasts and her work as a business coach. So Mary suggested that that's what we do with this gift, is do a raffle, and we're thankful to all the people who think about us and think about ways they can help us. And so this is a $2,500 table. It's valued at $2,500, and if you look on our website, you will see the quality of this table. But tickets are only $25. So somebody is going to get this table before, maybe on the 12th. We may need to move that back a little because we've spent so much time on Giving Tuesday. But it will definitely be something that someone's going to enjoy for a lifetime.
I believe so. And like she said, you can find a picture of it on her website. And I just thought it was just amazing that this was donated, because it takes an act of love to donate that size table,
right,
for that amount to help Yeshua's House. And speaking of which, again, we were talking about giving. If there is something that you feel that you have that is of value, would you consider donating it and allowing it to be a part of something that she can raffle off to secure more funds for the upkeep of the houses, or finding resources for the individuals that are residents there? I'm just saying, it's just me. But I was talking.
Yeah. We do have in 2021, we are going to have a raffle of items that have been donated to us, and we'd love to put more on the list.
Well, so if you would just hold on a second, I'm going to show you this table. Just hold on a second, okay?
Good afternoon, friends and family. Today, I'm in the beautiful home of Yeshua's House number 2. I'm here to show you this lovely table that was donated to Yeshua's House by Mary Foley. This table here has a $2,500 value, and we are selling the tickets for only $25. Let me show you how easily it goes from seating 10 to 6. Simply turn in, and turn in here. It glides with ease on both sides. And there you have seating for 6. This is a metal smoked glass table, and it is beautiful. $25, and it could be yours. Thank you.
Well, there you go, everybody. You can't beat that for $25.
Absolutely. And you just met our Vice President, Tamika Green, who is my pastor's wife. So kudos to her. She did it with ease. We didn't even have to do 2 takes.
All right, then. Well, congratulations, First Lady Green. Yeah, I was happy to show that to you. So, everybody, this is a video that's going to be special to me, because I'm able to help Angela Brown and Yeshua's House promote that table for $25. So share the video. Even if you don't want the table, share the video. There's somebody else out there who would love to have that. So $25 to get that table. That was so elegant. Thank you so much, Angela, for that video.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you. Since we broadcast, you have made Yeshua's House a sponsor for limited resources broadcast. And that was unsolicited on our part. We just know it came from your heart, and we thank you so much for that kind of exposure.
I am so glad you said that. You know, I need a blue pill every now and then, but that's right. Yeshua's House is the sponsor of all limited resource videos and podcasts. So what that means is I have a special promo that I'm adding to all of the podcasts on the network. So it would be, and they did not put up any money. They're not paying for anything. It's just sponsored by Yeshua's House. And it's a short clip talking about the services. And speaking of podcasts, and we'll move into your message, starting next Tuesday at 8 a.m. She's been with me for a year, but I'm going to take the most popular listen to videos and turn them into podcasts, and you'll hear them starting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'm gonna run for 8 hours, so 8 episodes of Angela Brown's limited resources. She's talked about everything from her mother's book to how she got started, to gratitude, to Maslow's theory. You just have to tune in and see what she's said, because as a former school teacher, she really hits home. She doesn't play around with a whole lot of yada yada. She makes the messages very clear. So that's starting next Tuesday at 8 a.m. East Coast time. You can hear back-to-back 8-hour episodes of Angela Brown, and also the promo commercial for her being the sponsor of all limited resources. I'm adding more content to the limited resources. I'm going to have something once every week, so it will not just be once a month with her, and she'll be the sponsor of all podcasts coming under the limited resources name. So a lot of people are going to be hearing it. We're on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify. Yes, Angela Brown is on iHeart, iTunes, and Spotify, but you can also catch her after the first of the year. Her link is on our website, so you don't want to listen to it on the website. You can find it on your favorite listening platform: iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. We're all over the place. As a matter of fact, just Google Angela Brown so you can hear her limited resources. All right, there you go, Angela.
I tell you, God is amazing how he works through his people. This is nothing but God's favor. And we thank you for being a vessel for that.
Not a problem. I'm telling you, and then I'm going to go, except for the grace of God, I could have been in one of those. One night, I just took myself to a motel to get away. Another time, my previous marriage, I ran away with my 2 children in pajamas and stayed 3 days at somebody else's house because he threatened me with a knife. So I've been there, done that. And I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you have done and are going to do. And I know that it's not just because, I think I want to have a house. You really experience it, from your mother's and a lot of other things. So my heart is in it. So thank you, Angela, for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you for your testimony. And you are an example of when those gifts are released, because people don't have you under their thumb, you can do what you do for the glory of God.
Absolutely.
Enjoy life. Enjoy life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, today's podcast is on gratitude, and I had no idea that it was going to be December 1st, Giving Tuesday, nor that it would be right after Thanksgiving. But gratitude is the topic, and I call it gratitude, the mother of all virtues. And that comes from a quote by Cicero, who lived in 106 BC. And he was a Roman statesman. And he said, gratitude is not only the greatest virtue, it is the parent of all others. And so I've been dwelling on that over the month and thinking about how I couldn't think of any virtues that you could add to that. I couldn't think of any virtues that weren't grounded in gratitude. Love. If you say you love somebody and you're not grateful for who they are, what they do, how they interact with you, you don't have love, right? So there's just no virtue I could think of that wasn't grounded in gratitude. So that's why the whole podcast is going to be about that. And the other thing I realized was grateful people are gracious people. And gracious people, they make you feel at ease. They make you feel valued. They welcome you when you come into their presence. They have a smile for you. Gracious people honor other people. They celebrate other people and other people's victories. They give to others. They see the good in their families, in their friends, and in themselves even. They are even grateful for their stuff. You know, if you're not grateful for your stuff, you don't take care of it. And you need some more. So, you know, the opposite is what ungrateful people experience. And an ungrateful person feels like whatever happens to him is somebody else's fault. So they, instead of seeing good in other people, they see negative things in other people and think that that is why they have what they have, or experiencing what they're experiencing, or don't have what they don't have. So it's very important that we ground our character in gratitude. And it tickled me that I could go back to 106 BC, which is when he was born, because humanity hasn't changed. You know, he doesn't even have the advantage of God-given scriptures that we have. So my husband put it this way when we were talking about gratitude. He said, well, how you perceive something will cause things in your life to multiply, for good or for bad. You see bad and bad, right? You see good, and you good multiplies in your life. So so what is gratitude, and how do we bring it up in us? If we're going to use this message, then we have to get to the bottom of how do we bring it up in us. If we have a hard time feeling grateful for something or someone, how do we do that? And, you know, I like to go back to the Hebrew. My husband and I study Hebrew because I believe it's the mother of all languages. After Babel, everything got filtered away. But in Hebrew, gratitude means seeing the good. Just that simple. Seeing the good. And we need to train ourselves to see the good. And after we see it, we need to celebrate it. Whether that involves thanking somebody or honoring them for what they've done. So many ways that we can see the good, celebrate the good. And that's contagious. Okay? One of the anchor verses of Yeshua's house comes from Philippians 4:8, where Paul is advising the Philippians to think on these things. Remember that? He said, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is just, pure and lovely, whatever is of good report, if there's any virtue or anything praiseworthy, think on these things. And, you know, the women that come to us are trying to regain their mental and emotional health after trauma. And to retell your past ad nauseum will not encourage you or others. You can't dwell on what happened to you. You have to see what is good. Dwell on what's going on right now. You can build on that. It helps to regain our health. Okay? And then G.K. Chesterton, who's a British author, said gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. And I love that. I love that. Wonder is like, oh my gosh, look what he did now. Oh my gosh, how good of them, right? Children have mastered wonder, which means that's our original state. We should live in a state of wonder that a leaf can, you know, be alive and then be red or yellow or green or yellow or orange, and and then die and feed the earth, and the tree comes again. Wonder, just to be grateful for anything that we see, to see the good in it. Do you have anything you wanted to say? Because you looking awful thoughtful there.
Oh,
we like to dialogue.
I maybe need to just start taking myself off the camera because my expressions are so distracting. Oh my goodness. I think, but people say, no, Ms.B, but I do want to interject that I believe, as far as we're talking about people with limited resources, not just necessarily domestic violence, but people with limited resources.
Right.
I believe it's important. Some people say glass half full, half empty, overflowing. It's never empty. It's just what you see. I mean, there's a lot of different, but I believe gratitude, especially now where we're dealing with seasonal depression. We're dealing with the COVID pandemic, shut in, economy shut down, shut off. There's a lot of things going on in addition to what was happening already. So gratitude right now, if you could understand the definition of what she said, it was so simple. Be thankful for what you have. Be appreciative for what you have. Dwell on the right now, and then I'm going to move on. There's no such thing as not being hurt when you lose a loved one through transitioning. But you have to decide how much you're going to allow to impact you, how long you're going to allow to impact you, and what are you going to gain from it. What, Ms.B? Right. I'm going to give you an example, then I'll move on, and then I'll show you how it ties into domestic violence. A lot of loved ones are being lost, not just to COVID, but to violence. I saw on the news where a mother lost a child to violence, and then she was shot at the funeral. Now, how in the world can anybody gain from such a thing? Well, let me tell you from personal experience. My mother, I was the only biological child that survived. The father that raised me married my mom, and he was my everything, was my best friend. My mom transitioned in my home 12 hours after she got here. I brought her home on hospice, and she didn't last 12 hours. I said, okay, hospice, get out. I've been in nursing for 40 years. This is very important, people. I've been in nursing for 40 years, so I knew what I had to do. And so they wanted me to get involved in all of these support groups. I said, listen, I still have another parent that's very alive. I don't have time to be dealing with the fact that my mother is not here when my father is still here. My father was my best friend. Either my mother said that. I would go with him on places where my mom, take your daughter, take your daughter, take your daughter. And we did everything from the VFW parades to, we went everywhere together. There was nothing we didn't do. And then how in the world could I have benefited from transitions of my mother in my own home? I still have my dad. We got even closer. And then his health was not the best, and I went to live with him. So what happened? I lost my mom, but I was free to be able to be there for my father even more. And what I'm trying to get you to see is you have to decide, is it going to weigh you down? Are you going to be grateful for what's left? Yes, you may not have a house with a roof on it, but you have more cardboard boxes and your shopping cart is full, and you have a prepaid cell phone where you can listen to this podcast, when other people don't have that. Gratitude. What I'm trying to say is be grateful for what you have and don't worry about what you don't have, and don't dwell on what happened. I did a podcast on human, I shouldn't say it like that, but foolishness. We respond intellectually, we analyze intellectually, allow ourselves to respond emotionally, and lose our spiritual power. So on this day, on Giving Tuesday, and Angela's going to tell you more about being grateful, having gratitude. Be grateful. Every day that you wake up, you have another chance. Even if you don't get it right, you have another chance to start. There's no such thing, the God of a second chance. Every day is the God of another chance, because you don't have to be here. So use your chance every day to say thank you for another chance, not a second chance, but endless chances to try to be a better person, to appreciate what you have, and to not let what happened hold you back from what can happen in your life. I just had to say that.
That's right. That's right. That was a great example. Yeah, I guess death is the most difficult thing for us to deal with. And I lost my sister this summer. But you know what keeps me from dwelling on her death is celebrating her life. And there was so much to celebrate, and still is. And I think I mentioned before that, you know, we're going to publish a
Yes.
book that she has written but never published. And I mean, I look forward to that. That's her still living. So there's always a way for us to find good in whatever happens. So I've told you about Cicero and G.K. Chesterton, but there's a woman who's writing today. In fact, she's 72, but her name is Melody Beatty, and she has written a lot on codependence. And she writes that gratitude makes sense of the past. So whatever happened in the past, being grateful that you're alive or whatever you pulled from the past, it makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today, and it creates a vision for tomorrow. And if we don't have a vision for tomorrow, we're not fully alive.
Excuse
That's
me.
what we want to give
Can
our
you say
women.
that again? Can you say that again? That is impactful. Say it again.
If we don't have a vision for tomorrow, we are not fully alive.
The
Okay.
three before then.
Gratitude makes sense of our past.
Yes.
It brings peace for today.
Yes.
And it creates a vision for tomorrow.
My. I wish I could
writing on this.
Yes, type that in the comments when you finish. Okay. When you see the video, just type that in the comments, because and that vision. Let me tell you something. Without the first two, that vision is going to be cloudy or non-existent. And we all have a mission. The Father created us for a purpose, on purpose. And whether we recognize it or not, that's not going to make it go away. But the things that she just said will help us understand that mission. We need that vision. And if you don't have your eyes open because of the first two, you're going to miss it. And you're just going to, and then I have to say this, we're talking about gratitude. You're not going to be grateful for life. You're just going to be focused on living. And without understanding life, living is just a reactionary response. What you need to do is take control of the life that you have been given to live it on purpose, for a purpose, and be grateful that you have it, because so many people did not wake up this morning. So many people are not going to wake up in the morning. So many people didn't even make it out of utero, but you have the opportunity to have a life. Don't just go about existing and living. Have a life. Live it on purpose, for purpose.
That's right.
I'm very talkative today.
Well said. Well, one of Melody Beatty's, and that's Beattie, if you want to look up her books, one of her books, she writes self-help books, is entitled Narcissism and Codependency. And narcissism is described as an excessive interest in yourself or an admiration of yourself, characterized by selfishness, characterized by a sense of entitlement, characterized by a lack of empathy. So narcissists are not grateful because they believe they deserve much more than they have or that they will ever receive. And because a narcissist cannot do any wrong in his or her own eyes, that's why they blame everybody else for whatever negative thing happens to them. Okay. So what can we be grateful for? What do we need to be grateful for? And I'm going to take us from the beginning. You know, as children, the first thing we need to be grateful for are parents. I think that's why there's an instruction that children honor your parents, because that's going to be the key to their having a good life. Honor your parents. Honor them regardless of what you think they didn't do right, the circumstances you were born into, whether you had health issues or even, handicaps when you were born. Honor your parents. And that's going to put you on a good foundation for achieving. You know, there are so many people now who have written books or are speaking, but I'm going to speak to who have had handicaps. One of them's named Nick, somebody with a big V, guy who skateboards with no arms and no legs, no arms and no legs. But I'm going to talk to you about a lady who spoke for us 2 years ago. Well, a year ago, September. And that was Tawana Williams. And
Before you
Tawana
do
was
that, before
yes.
you talk about Tawana, let me do this short break. It's 30 minutes into it.
Go
And
ahead,
then
dear.
we'll come back and we'll talk about Tawana because I had the privilege of being that event and meeting her.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. We're right around 30 minutes into Limited Resource Awareness with Angela Brown, my guest once a month, the first Tuesday of every month. Today, we're talking about gratitude. But what you just saw was a short clip from Chris Allen. He comes on every Wednesday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, right here on Storm Talk 365's fan page, Issues of Men. We've talked about everything from health to finances. And, you know, even last week, he said, bump it all. You know, so many people are tired of the COVID and they just want to give up on life. And this week, we're going to talk about things that make you go, what are we thinking about? So that being said, that's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, right here on a Storm Talk 365 radio fan page. Chris Allen. Also, he is on www.stormtalk365radio.com. So before we left, she was about to talk to us about understanding, I call them different abilities. And she's going to talk a little bit about someone that I was blessed to meet in person right here in Virginia at an event that Angela had. And I'm looking forward to that. But just let me say this. Be grateful for your abilities because there are those with different abilities, less than yours, that are probably more positive and doing more with it. So there you go, Angela.
Well, I wanted to say something about Chris Allen and all the people that you have given a voice to on your positive broadcast. You know, you style yourself positively Ms.B, and that is true. And just think about all the teaching, the beneficial things that people are hearing and seeing because you have made yourself a vessel for their mouth to be opened and heard.
Now I'm getting all teary-eyed.
Well, so Tawana Williams was born without arms, and her grandmother told her, Tawana, if you had needed arms, God would have given them to you. And so she spoke for us last September, and we saw her, how she could feed a baby and burp a baby, how she could put on her socks, tie her shoes. If you go to her video, her broadcast, she'll show you how she peels a potato. She has determined that she can do anything someone with arms can do. And so she is a tremendous inspiration to people. And that's what she goes about doing, speaking. She's just in North Carolina, right at our doorstep. So, you know, she was a good example of that. And then when I was thinking about, well, how can you be grateful for circumstances you were born into? And the person that came to mind was Dr. Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe, amazing man, born into poverty in the Bahamas. A lot of kids in the family. Right across the way were the wealthy folks. And he was like, God, he said, God, why do you love them more than you love us? Because look what we're living in. But God took that question and spoke to his heart. And he has used what he understands about scripture to teach not only individuals and groups all over the world, but he has spoken to national leaders who have had him come in and talk to them about how to handle their nations. Amazing man. He was a multimillionaire when he passed. And thank God his children have kept his legacy alive. And you can see Miles Monroe broadcasts all the time on video. So whatever circumstances you're born into, God can use them. God will use them. And then I was thinking about, not everybody has had access to a good education. And my mother is an example of that. Her dad didn't let her go to school until she was 8 because of his selfishness. And then she stopped at 8th grade so she could work. But she could write letters to her children, and there was the name of a drug. I think you lost me. The name of a drug. So, it's not what we're given, it's how we build on it. Moses? It's how we build on it. And that kind of led me to think about climbing Jacob's ladder. You familiar with that song? And often it is sung, traditionally, my husband says, it's sung like a dirge. We are climbing Jacob's ladder. And you thought, oh my gosh, they'll never get to the top. Oh my gosh, they're exhausted already. But that is not the picture that we're given in Genesis 28 when Jacob's ladder shows up. In that story, Jacob is lying down. He's not climbing the ladder. He's lying down, and God gives him a vision. And in that vision is this ladder, or some say staircase, that's put down from above to the ground where he is. And God tells him all the blessings that are waiting for him. And he sees angels, which are just messengers, going up and down the ladder. And we know that they're ministering angels, which means they are there to serve Jacob. And we are in the position of Jacob, right? Then Jesus comes along and refers to this dream. And he says, and that's John 1:51. John chapter 1, verse 51. He says, you will see the angels of God going up and down on the Son of Man. So if we didn't know what the ladder stood for, Jesus gave us that key. He's the ladder. He's the connection between heaven and earth. And those ministering angels are going up and down for our good, okay, to give us blessings. So I don't know if that song can ever be rewritten to be totally upbeat, but we are not the ones climbing Jacob's ladder. We need to understand that God has given us so many ministering spirits to accomplish our purpose in life. So we don't need to be thinking about how we did this and we did that. God is making a way. That's where your gratitude lies, in knowing that apart from him, you can do nothing. Okay? So that's what I'm saying, that our life can be filled with gratitude if we see God's hand in our life. If we refuse to see God's hand, we may well end up on the narcissistic spectrum.
We got a good example of that, don't we?
We do. And it can be very unpleasant on a small scale, and on a large scale, it can be very unpleasant to see people operate in their narcissism.
Absolutely.
So, my daughter and I were talking last night. She has a 6-year-old. Golly, he just turned 6. Anyway, she has a 6-year-old, and she was telling me about a conversation she had with him. And she said, we're not spending a lot this holiday season, but I want him to continue to select gifts for people and help wrap gifts. Because I learned, and she said this, I learned from my sister. Now, her sister's younger than her, but she has 2 children who are older than Drew. And she said, I learned from my sister that you include children in the selecting of the gifts and in the wrapping, because this gives them the anticipation of giving, which is joy. And then the joy in the actual giving is theirs. This is how you don't raise a narcissist. You show them that joy wells up in you when you can give to somebody else. So that's what she's doing. And she says he loves it. You know, he loves it. He loves wrapping it and choosing the paper and the ribbon and whatever. And, you know, as I thought about that, I thought, well, you know, it's not the gift anyway. Anybody who's received a gift knows that what stays with them is the thought that somebody thought of me. They not only thought of me, but they determined to choose something for me, to please me, because they're grateful for me.
Come on.
Right. And that's the gift that we give. If we give a gift without that background, out of, well, I got to give more so. Moses?
You there, Angela?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, so what we're really telling people when we give them anything is that I appreciate you. And even when you can't give a thing, words are so powerful.
Oh,
so
my,
powerful.
my. Yeah, you had me crying here a minute ago.
Picking up the phone and telling somebody what they don't already know about how you've impacted their life, how they've impacted your life. I don't know. I'm going to give over to you whatever you want to say about gratitude, but I know that there is nothing like the feeling of being thankful. It is the backbone. I almost looked up virtue, but virtue is any good thing. I think that's what Paul was talking about in Philippians. You know, any good thing, any noble, just, pure, lovely, true thing, anything of good report can be classified as a virtue. So I was going back to our anchor verse for this, which is, where is it? The gratitude is not only the greatest virtue, it is the parent of all others. Okay. So, Ms.B, what you got to say?
Well, it says virtue is moral excellence. A virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle and good moral being. Personal virtues are characteristics valued as promoting collective and individual greatness. Behavior showing high moral standards. You know, when we talk about being grateful, I use character traits when I do my individual videos. Some people don't understand that character traits are choice. You are who you are by choice. You can decide what character traits you want to be in your personality. And one of the things that Angela was talking about, you choose to have gratitude. Your moral state is a choice. Virtue has its place in everybody's life, but you have a choice. And people don't understand. We were created by the Creator out of choice to give us choices to either follow him, obey him, serve him, love him, go out and make disciples of others to him, and the condition that we return to him. So as I come to a close, the condition that we return to him should be that of gratefulness, that of gratitude, because none of us were created by accident. We were created on purpose, for a purpose. And until you understand your spiritual purpose, nothing else will fall into place for you. So decide, make a choice. What type of person do you want to be? What type of attitude do you want to have? Just like she talked about people with different abilities, and she talked about, you know, changing a diaper with your toes. I've seen videos of people driving with their feet, petting with their teeth. I've seen people do hard labor with no legs and arms, but they use their shoulders and it's What are you thinking about? What are you grateful for? Okay. Stevie Wonder, No Eyes. Let me tell you, that man can write a song, sing a song. You name it, that man can do it. They ain't seen a bit of daylight in his life. So what are you grateful for? Do you have gratitude for what you have? Or are you still sitting back mourning about what you don't have? As far as I'm concerned, I'm tired of dealing with human foolishness. I'm tired of dealing with intellectually analyzing, responding emotionally, then losing my spiritual power. What are you going to do? Are you going to stand back and be powerless when you've been given all power and authority over everything, including your character traits, including your attitude? What are you grateful for? Are you seeing the good in everything? I mentioned something, and I'm going to clarify what I mean. I said we have a good example of somebody being narcissistic. There's somebody that's a very high publicly profile person who has exemplified textbook narcissistic behavior. But you know, my response to that is he has a sickness and I need to pray for him instead of judging him. I don't allow things to get on my nerves. I allow my things to get into my spirit. People like that need prayer, not judgment, not criticism. People who exemplify a sense of ungratefulness, they need prayer. I have been blessed with Storm Talk 365 and Storm Radio 24/7, and not everybody have I come across appreciated the opportunity to be a part of the ministry. I allowed myself to intellectually analyze, emotionally respond, and then forget, like she said, I've been blessed to be a blessing. It's not up to me to decide whether they appreciate it or not. It's up to me to continue to do what the Father has given us, which is a mission. And that mission couldn't be accomplished if I didn't see the vision. If I didn't see the vision, then that means that I'm focused on me. So that being said, as we come to a close on Giving Tuesday, please consider following Yeshua's House on Facebook, on social media, following Angela Brown. Please consider donating through the Facebook or Facebook app that allows you to have double your donation. If you don't want to donate financially, please consider buying the ticket for that beautiful table that I showed you at the beginning of the video, or in kind. Stop by. Ask if you can stop by and help fix up something, help donate materials, whatever it is that you can do in this season of giving. Don't let COVID-19 stop you from being a grateful person. And sometimes you have to see the good in yourself in order to see the good in others. That's all I have to say. Angela, are you finished? Is there any closing words?
Yeah, because what you're making me think of is that this comes on the heels of Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving was so different this year because most of us didn't have physical contact with our extended families. And, if you see God, the good in everything, it heightens your gratitude for those people in your extended family. I've heard people say, we're going to make something happen because this may be our last year with so-and-so, okay, in the family. So anticipating something, we have to do something special, whether it's a special Zoom or bring the plates over or whatever. But God is talking to us through COVID. He uses everything. So I think gratitude is one of the things. And even when we have the high profile negative personalities, there's something we're supposed to understand and learn. And negative relationships teach us how not to be. Positive relationships show us how we can be. And our job daily is to be made over into the image of the one who created us. And everything I've read says he's grateful for our praise. Grateful for our praise. How humble is that? When he deserves more praise than everybody who's ever lived on earth can give him if they did it 24/7.
Absolutely.
Yet he's grateful.
Yep.
For our praise.
Absolutely. So, grateful for the praise.
He is. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I want to thank in advance all of our donors and supporters, people who have posted and people who are sharing. our needs. And I'm going to believe God for a roof in 2021 that doesn't have to become a part of our budget, because we know what we have to do with our budget. We want an
2020
income.
ain't over yet. You don't know what God got planned for you.
Oh my
Look,
gosh, absolutely.
He's a right now God. Let me tell you, when you speak that word, he's a right now God. He ain't gonna have to wait. God is about to. God ain't about to do nothing. He already done it. You just gotta walk in the manifestations of it. I ain't trying to hear about no 2021. Didn't we just say we gotta live for today? Let me tell you something. There's somebody out there that's gonna hear this video and say, Sister Brown, let me do this here for you. You know what? Whatever it comes, he's a right now God. I'm getting ready to preach. Lord have mercy, everybody. Right, he's a right now God. We're going to get that roof in his timing, though. So thank you so much, everybody. This is Ms. B, Positively Ms. B, right here with Angela B. Brown, CEO of Yeshua's House Transition for Women in Petersburg, Virginia. Please consider to do a donation. Go to her website. You can go to her Facebook page, find out how you can give monetarily, and also make arrangements if there's something that you can donate as far as something that she can raffle off, or in-kind services or materials to get that roof done. We got them windows. Time to get a roof on that house.
Amen.
All right, everybody. We're going to see you next Tuesday in January, prayerfully, with another message from her. As every first Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. East Coast time. Also, next Tuesday, please join us for the podcast marathon starting at 8 a.m. in the morning. She has a lot of information. She's a school teacher, and she gets that job done. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Angela.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.